tu as vu, tu as vu.
So I take it here and then...
That's us. This,
It's a wrong spelling, but
that's good.
Les photos.
yeah, whatever.
Hi, people. Oh, I'm so glad to see everybody out there. I know you all from somewhere, and I really feel your energy, and I feel the power of perfume that transforms our lives and makes us into communities where we share our passions and dreams. So first of all, just thank you. Thank you for being here. The purpose of this program... Yes. I'm going to introduce myself and everybody in one sec. I just wanted to tell you before I get into this what the purpose of this program is, in case you need to leave, but I don't think you do. The purpose of this program is to help you, members of our community, perfume people, brand owners, and creative directors. You are here to help position your brand for maximum attention from press, influencers, journalists, and retailers. And the problem is, especially when you've done all of your work, you're hardworking, you want to get your fragrances out there. And if you're here, it means you're already involved in some kind of fragrance or project where you've poured your hearts and souls and your bank accounts into financing or creating products with vision and with excellent raw materials, with great perfumers whom you've given wild creativity to, and perfume bottles and storytellers. And your products are excellent already, but standing out in a sea of excellence takes something more. And so to suggest this something more, Sebastian Jara and I, the perfume guy, came up with an idea of inviting 4 founders or creative directors of highly successful brands to share 1 or 2 of their most effective techniques for absolutely getting attention. I'm starting with Etienne Desport of État Livre d'Orange. That's you, Etienne. Is that you? You're there? Okay. Then we had June Lim of Born to Stand Out, Thomas DeMonico of Thomas DeMonico Parfum, and Chiara and Andrea Valdo of Juicebox. Okay, and we're also sharing some personal information about me, Sarah Colton, and Sebastian, the perfume guy, and François Hénin, owner of Jovois perfume shops in Paris and London. And how best to get our attention based on the truth about how we really operate. I guarantee you there'll be some surprises. Meanwhile, we have a challenge. As you can see, there's 8 people up here on this panel, and we have 45 minutes to speak. So in addition to this intro, each person is going to speak a maximum of 5 minutes. Sebastian has promised to time us, so watch out. He has a whip. He has a whip that he's going to remind us, but I get a little bit more at the beginning. So you heard me. So we'll be timing ourselves. He'll be timing us. So listen up, because this program is going to be fast. Starting with me. Oh, God, where are my props? As a journalist and author. Oh, me. Ha. As a journalist and author, I need to smell a lot of fragrances, especially for articles, of course, but for my books. Bad Girls Perfume. Many of you know this book, thank goodness. That's how I can afford to be here. And Scoop, because Bad Girls Perfume traced the history of perfumery, and I talked about 400 fragrances to trace the history from the Garden of Eden to the present day of actually about 10 years ago when the book came out. So now it's time for a big scoop. Bad Girls Perfume Volume 2, that's a code name. This is a mock-up cover, but this is coming out next year. And I'm also looking for fragrances and fragrance brands and also fragrance people, because you are in this story. You are part of this story. And this story is picking up where I left off, and it's taking us to the future, and it's taking us to other galaxies and to other dimensions. So be ready. And that is what perfume does for us. And I'll be taking my notes. Of course, I take my notes with my perfume notes. And this is what I use all the time. And then Francois Hénin, I did this special little perfume notes for him, and he's going to tell you about that in a little while. And if you stick around, you might even get your hands on several of these. So that is nothing yet.
Up to you.
Okay.
Up to you.
So what I really need to do all this writing is samples, and that's why I love sample sets, not full bottles. I don't need full bottles, at least to start with. So brands, take note. Put thought and budget into your sample sets. And I think it would help to imagine them as mini ambassadors, or better still, really angels that carry your fragrances and your messages out, and they will get you to the right people. And my advice for these is to make them portable, and I've got some right here. Here is Born to Stand Out, Juice Box. Where are my other, there's my book. Where is Thomas DeMonico? Oh, Jovois. Yeah, Thomas DeMonico, who have we've got everybody. Thomas DeMonico, yes. So the main thing about these is what I think is that they need to be portable. They need to be durable, because, they go through a lot of stuff. They need to be easy to manipulate, and they need to be visually striking. And why this? Because you can imagine, I come home from something like this, and like you, I'm exhausted, I'm overwhelmed, and, I open up my bag of stuff, and what am I gonna look for? Something like eye candy, something that catches my eye. I want something that's gonna say, wow, open me up, open me up. And here's another scoop. Size matters. Because if you imagine me peacefully sampling fragrances while I'm sitting at my desk, ha, 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 I'm more likely sampling fragrances on an airplane, in a train, on the Paris metro, or standing in line at the grocery store. So this is why I love to be able to pull out a little fragrance. If you have a small little fragrance sample, look at my hand shaking. I'm so happy to be here. So if I can pull this thing out of my backpack or my pocketbook, and here it is. I'm paying with my Monoprix card at the grocery store.
It's
and I can go,
État Libre d'Orange.
Yes.
It's État Libre d'Orange.
yeah, oh yeah, État Libre,
It's a good
État
choice.
Libre d'Orange.
We said 2 times. Show 2 times. We said.
Yeah. So, and when I smell this, when I smell a fragrance that is like a jewel, I write about it and I talk about it. So I don't really need a full bottle, but if I do, if I might do a video or a post, I'll get in touch with you. So that's all I'm going to say about me. And now you can start the counter, because I'm going to now hand it over to Sebastian. And where'd this thing go?
You still have 45 seconds.
I have 45 seconds, but I'm going to be generous because these other people are going to be talking. Because I just want to tell you something about Sebastian, because I want to tell you this something that he really hates, but he's much too polite to say it. Please don't hand Sebastian a full bottle of your fragrance in the street or in the aisles of Exxon's. Listen, I see this happening all the time, because you know what? Walking around with Sebastian is a little bit like walking around with the Messiah. Everybody stops this guy. It takes 2 hours to just walk 10 minutes. So, it does. And so what happens at the end? I have to go with Sebastian the last day of the show, and he buys yet another suitcase. So look at the slide, email him first, and be prepared to send whatever you have. That's the next thing, because I've said my part for Sebastian, and I think that's all I'm going to say, but I'm going to also say, listen to what Sebastian says, because I'm going to hand him over the mic, because if you can get this guy's attention, you're golden. Take it away, Sebastian.
Thanks everyone for coming, and thank you, Sarah, for organizing this panel discussion with so many amazing people in the community and in the community, as I said. So yeah, jumping off of what Sarah said, I think I've been doing this for, 13 years now, and when I first started, nobody really paid attention to me, but now what happens most is stop, show me your fragrance, and spray it, and then force me to take a bottle. So it's difficult. I mean, what's happening for me is, same thing with Sarah. I think sample sets are perfect for me as well, for me to discover your fragrances, or I come to shows like this and learn about your fragrances. And if I fall in love with something you have, I'm most likely going to ask you for a bottle or figure out a way to get a bottle so I can speak about it. But sometimes, like one recent show I went to, I was forced to take a bottle, I was forced on camera to speak about it, and I know nothing about the fragrance yet. What am I going to say about this? It smells great, it smells bad. So yeah, and it happens. People hand me bottles, samples, everything, and I do have to buy suitcases to take things back, because when I come to these shows, I'm traveling at least for about a month, if not a month and a half. So I'm constantly gathering stuff, and I'm also buying stuff, so there's no room to take it all back. So for me, the best solution is just let me take a discovery set, and just like Sarah said, a nice visual, something that stands out. So when I take the whole pile and dump it out on my carpet, it doesn't blend in, it's not loose, it's in a nice discovery set with nice colors, stands out, and I'll remember it that way. But yeah, please don't force the bottles on me, because there's too much perfume out there, and sometimes I'll get it, and then I'll forget to talk about it, and then makes you mad or makes the brand mad, and I'm like, why are they doing that to me? They're giving me the cold shoulder now. Whatever. I think, like I said, if I'm discovering fragrances, I'm coming here, I'm going to discover your fragrances, and if it's great, I'm going to want to talk about it. So that's all I have to say, pretty much.
Okay.
Do you want me to add anything else to it?
No, you can go at the end if you want to, but let's hand it over to...
Well, let me do one more thing. I forgot to mention that the fact that we're doing some kits also. We have Scent Club kits that we're doing, and usually when I'm discovering your best fragrances, we're going to feature them in our kits. And yeah, that's pretty much it, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, good. You didn't get rich by your timer.
All right.
Here comes
Francois.
Francois.
Okay.
Take it away, Francois.
Okay, so when they came to me with this awful question, how to get your attention, Francois, I was afraid of the answer, to be honest, because I'm trying to avoid to have to answer to the question. Look, we have 350 brands, I think, in the fair today, and I have average 130 brands at all times, 2,500 perfumes. So it's complicated. I can't break the walls. So it's heartbreaking, and it's becoming a bit complicated because as you can see, I'm a very, very, very shy person, and so I would hate to say hey, no, actually, to someone. So. Yeah, in the beginning it was easy. I mean, 10 brands, 20 brands, it's fine. And we tried to be careful on the assortment, not to have 25 amber. Now we have 25 amber. And so, yes, it was a bit easier in the beginning. Right now, let's be honest, we have too many launches, too many brands. I don't know how you survive this when you take 2 weeks of holiday and you come back and you have 100 samples to try. This is awful. So I've been thinking a lot about this question. I think we need lighthouses to make sure that the boat goes to the end of the trip. And I mean by that, journalists, friends, people on various social networks to help us find our ways with so many fragrances. And perfume industry is a big industry, but we are lucky we are in the niche, so it's a bit smaller. So it's easy to meet people and to create your network. And this is all about, when it comes to pick a brand, I rely on my network of trusted person, people who I work with, I've been working with for a long time. I will tell you a short story. It was Christmas a year ago, about Christmas, and there is this agent who comes to me and says, François, I know it's Christmas time, so I know you're a bit busy, but there is this brand, you really have to take it. And I said, man, by the time you deliver the brand, I will have to make my inventory, so no, I don't have time. He said, no, really, François, I urge you to take the brand. And so don't tell him that, but I was fragile at the time. So I said, okay, I take the brand, but I don't have time to put it on the shelf, so I leave it on the website. And over the weekend, I was sold out. So I've been extremely polite and came back to the guy and say, who do I have to kiss to have the brand and more product, because this is Christmas period. So you see, I was joking with some friend of mine. There are blockbusters out there. I have 2 perfume brands of my own, and if they were to show me these fragrances, I might have said no. Maybe it's not my taste, maybe, and I would have missed one of the biggest blockbuster of the industry. So I know the time is counted. So yes, we need we need journalists, we need friends, we need people like you guys. If you want to make sure to be sold at Java, you just go to Sebastian and make sure that he spread the good word to me. That's a big shortcut. Voilà. So I know we are many to have to talk. Just to say that I came with a little gift here. There is a carton box in the back. So if there are any left, you can take them. It's something fun we did with the funniest person and charmingest person of the industry, Sarah, for perfume lovers. You can have a sneak peek. All right, I got your bank transfer. Thank you. There you are.
Okay.
As short as I can.
Okay, now it is Etienne de Swart. Okay, Etienne, take it away.
So 5 minutes. So we'll start with a long and it's going to be 4 minutes. Merci, Sarah. Thank you, Sebastian. And thank you for being here. And what I'm supposed to say. So I'm just worried because there is Marion over there, and she's the head of marketing and communication, and she's tough on me. So I have to be very mild. So what does it mean being mild at États Libres d'Orange? So very briefly about the brand, we created the brand in 2006 at 69 Rue des Archives. And we created the brand, so I'm supposed to answer your question. So we created the brand in the art of narrative at the beginning, because when you are not a perfumer, in fact, you create a brand in some kind of imposture. That's very much the spirit of being into narrative and creating a perfume house. That means that we belong to words over fashion. So we created a brand with, let's say, strong narratives such as Sécrétion Magnifique, Putain des Palaces, Hotel Slut, and then Jasmine and Cigarette. And it was thanks to the press, thanks to the influencer, we are still alive. So we bow to the strength of the journalist, because it keeps the momentum and it keeps you alive. But at the end, in 2015, we've realized that it's not enough, that at the end, everything is a good balance, a balance of goodwill, a balance of tangible things and intangible. So we, after, that kind of very edgy, audacious perfume concept, we decided to blend a little bit with more poetry. So we created the poetry of the trash with I Am Trash, and the idea was to give you a good balance in between edginess and bowing also to the merchants. So we cleaned the trash of the industry at Givaudan, and we created that perfume. And the baseline, that was not the institutional baseline, but the funny baseline of edginess and PR at the beginning was, when the world becomes filthy, might as well wear it. So I am trash, les fleurs du déchet. Quand le monde devient sale, autant le porter sur soi. Then État Libre d'Orange is a perfume house of blending things on the frontiers from edginess and inclusiveness. So we created also Story of Your Life with the definition of a grand amour with the help of a team. So now État Libre d'Orange, to stay alive, it's a teamwork of talented people all together. So we create narrative at the beginning, but the rest is beautiful talent on board, involved and dedicated to make things happen, because a brand is a long train with many wagons, and the idea is not to stay only on edginess, but the idea is also to focus on supply chain, cash, and everything. So at the end, État Libre d'Orange is a land of plenty. It started in edginess and audacious and maverick and even crazy concepts such as a magnificent secretion with what we call the 4S. But now État Libre d'Orange is a long train with talented people on board, and we created Nostos on the beauty of Achille and the notion of returns. Nostos means the return in Greek, and the perfume is a fantastic tool of return. The beautiful Nostos and the beauty of Achille. Anyway, thank you, and giant leap. That's very much État Libre d'Orange, from magnificent secretion to Nostos. Merci.
It's your turn to shine.
Thank you. My name is June Lim. I'm the founder and creative director at Born to Stand Out.
You're off?
I thought we have the full presentation, but
No, you get one.
yeah. So I am not from Europe, of course, and I started out of nowhere, Seoul, Korea. Our industry is extremely competitive. You know, in 2020, we had a total number of 20,000 brands locally born. Now, as of 2024, we have 35,000. But at the same time, the value of the industry, the cosmetics industry, is on a downturn, a constant downturn for the past couple of years, about -5% per annually, which means that we are fighting for the same pie, but more people are in it. So how do we stand out? And this is something that I still cannot solve, and this is probably the homework that every brand should solve for the duration of their lifetime. But I would simply put, as a young, small brand, two things is what I have been doing, and I would suggest other brands to do, is first, polarization, and second is obsessive consistency. First, polarization, meaning do something that pisses off people, make people angry. Do you have some factors that can make a super fan or super haters? So do you have that factor in the brand? And you can do this across practically the juice, its naming, the design, the package, and your communication. So, for instance, the juice, you can make something, wild, and you can name it something obscene that can really make people angry, but at the same time, make people laugh and make people remember. And the way that we present ourselves at Born to Stand Out is a stark contrast of white and red. And it's the simplest way that I thought is a way to stand out. And our communication, as you saw on the right and left, we want you to remember. And I certainly think that we're very proud of what we do. And we have a lot of fans, I'm proud to say, but at the same time, we have a lot of haters. So do something that generates a lot of loves and hates. And don't try to be loved by everybody. It's okay to be hated. I always say to my marketing team, hate is a form of love. There's no such thing as bad publicity. So do something crazy as a small, young brand. Second thing is obsessive consistency, I always say. Are you coherent? Every angle of everything that you communicate, whether it's the design, the bottle, the package, your Instagram, your TikTok, or the bottles or the juice, whatever it is it screaming? Is everything screaming you? Is it screaming Born to Stand Out? So this is what we are always trying to do, because consistency means memorability. More consistent you are, more likely that people remember. So just to summarize and to finish up my 5 minutes, you have to do something that is polarizing, do something that people will hate, make critics furious, don't try to be loved by everybody, and do it constantly. And you will stand out. That's it for me. Thank you.
Thomas,
Hello, Sarah.
go ahead.
Go ahead. I do it the first time what I'm doing here, so I'm pretty nervous, and I had to write down everything what I'm saying here. I've done it in the morning, like I do every Sunday. In the morning, I'm writing an article, which is published in LinkedIn, which is called Scented Sunday. And so let's go through like I always write, and I go with the rhythm what I have here. So the thing is that one second, it doesn't work.
Oh no.
You're perfect.
See it?
Just click and exit or something.
Exit. No thanks. No problem. No thanks. Here we go. That's a good one.
This is the perfume community.
Yes, thanks a lot for support. Sarah, thank you. You said I would be the quiet guy in this group, and I feel comfortable with that, actually. After all, I know that because I'm married to an Italian woman, and so I'm used to be quiet, being quiet. I've been married by 25 years now, and if there's one thing I've learned is that long-term relationships take patience. They take understanding, and most of all, they take respect. That's something I always valued, not just in my marriage, but in everything I do. I never saw myself as loud. Even as a child, I enjoyed actually being on my own. I focused on a few good friends. I built relationships that lasted, because that's what matters in the end, how I see it. Not just meeting people, but growing with them over time. That instinct became even stronger when I joined the Boy Scouts, and my group gave me the name Puma. That said, they said it's sweet at me. A puma is quiet, it watches, it waits, it understands its surroundings, it doesn't chase blindly, and when it moves with precision, but not with the computers. And that shaped me. It became part of who I am, and funny, later I studied sales in that way. Yes, I have a sales diploma, probably the only one with this in the round. And I learned something important during these studies. Selling is not about pressure. It's about talking louder than everyone else. It's about understanding people. It's about listening. Because if you listen, people will show you what they need. If you respect them, they will trust you. If you learn from them, they will come back. That's how I see sales. Not as a transaction, but as a relationship. And that instinct took me into my business now. Thomas de Monaco Parfums, it's a crazy name, very long, is built on these values. It's not about fast sales. It's about building heritage. That's what we are doing. It's about creating something that lasts. Every detail matters. The highest quality, made in our own factory. We do most of it in-house. We are very hands-on. From the first idea to the final bottle, we touch every step. we work with our hands. So every product which is in the market was in my hand. We test, we refine, we adjust, we learn from our mistakes. If we have problem, we fix it. And that's what I say, when we get stuck, we stay open. Curiosity leads us forward. It helps us see things differently. It helps us find new ways when the old ones stop working. Because true craft is never rushed. It takes time, it takes obsession, it takes patience, and that's also how we communicate as a brand. We never spend big on advertising, no flashy campaigns, no hype machines. We have learned from mistakes, Kati. And so our growth is very organic, what we are doing, steady. People come because they feel something. They stay because they believe in it. The perfumes reflect my philosophy, all the perfumes in our brands. I wear a perfume for myself. When I feel comfortable, I feel positive when I'm wearing a perfume. And that feeling radiates to others. It emanates. That's what a great perfume does. It doesn't push, it pulls. It creates presence without force. It builds connection without noise. It stays. Come on a bit faster. And that's exactly how I run my business. I don't push. So that's it. Thank you.
Okay, now, Chiara, you and Andrea can handle
Hello,
the next two.
hello everybody. I'm Chiara Valdo, and this is my brother, Andrea, and we are co-founders of the brand Juicebox. We are not quiet at all, and we fight a lot among each other, but we really learn a lot from our fights, which means that the fight doesn't end until we find the perfect the solution we want to really put in our products. So in Juicebox, we try to make something different, which means not only to propose a product, but also to propose an experience to the consumer. And we did that combining the two main passions we have in common, that is music and perfume. And we thought that this was really the perfect marriage, because we are really quite acknowledged in music, and personally I studied the piano for almost 9 years. And this world, I mean, they really combine completely the same things, which means if they are a harmony of notes, we have a common language that is notes, accords, and mostly they really awake our memories, and really they made us react to what we smell or what we hear completely at the same way. So the feelings are really, really important in both worlds. So for this reason, the reason why also we really try to combine these two words is also to try to offer a more familiar language to the consumer in order to decode the word of perfume, and so to feel this new word in an easier and more comfortable way, let's say. So as we say that for us sets are very, very important, what we try to do is not just to offer, again, just a vial or a product to smell, but to give a little bit of experience. So we did that through our sets that behind have a QR code. If you scan the code, you can enter in this part of our website, where you can select the set that you bought or you had. And basically, there is some explanation about the brand, about us, but most important, you have that little buttons on the slide where Siren and Cello is written, the color bottoms, and when you click them, you enter the page of the fragrance, and mostly the most important thing, and first of all, you listen to the playlist, because in our website, every fragrance is linked to a playlist, because music is the source of inspiration of all our products. And this kind of experience, you can make it on the website, or you can also experience a little bit more with the music when you are in our corner or shopping shop or our flagship store in Milan, where we reproduced a kind of jukebox. We call it olfactive jukebox, where you really push the bottom on the selected fragrance you want to try because of the color, because of the name, because something inspires you. And then the wheel turn around and it stops with the fragrance you selected, and the music starts playing, so you can smell and you can hear to the music. And that's it. Thank you.
Okay, so this is the final. This is the
the
final
cherry pick, yeah.
This is shared with Andrea and Chiara, if you want to, and Sebastian.
Yes, I just know the topic is how to make your brand visible. And when we started working in this business many, many years ago, and when we created Juicebox 8 years ago, we thought that the product was enough. So if you make a fantastic product, great juice, great bottle, great box, we thought, okay, it's done, so people will discover us. Now the situation is a little bit different. You need a lot of more ways to reach the public. Of course, influencer, content creator are very important, but we are very old school, so we are not really familiar with that. We didn't really like that until we met Sebastian. Because Sebastian, of course, was one of the first in this influencer environment. Is one of the best, or what can I say, probably the best. And because he's very knowledgeable, but most important thing, he was working in the music industry. So when we met, we thought we have a lot of things in common. So we wanted to make kind of collaboration, so say what we can do together. And I remember we were at ZGO in San Francisco, say why we don't do something together? Why you don't collaborate with us for creating a fragrance? So that's what we did, and was 1.5 years work together. I think that his contribution was very interesting in our brand, because we saw our brand from the eye from somebody else that was knowledgeable of perfumes, knowledgeable of music, but was not in our brain and our brand already. So we really love working with him. I hope it was the same for him. So
it was a great experience. Learned a lot from the whole experience, selecting the perfumer to work with, the topic, the genre, and ingredients. But when you asked me, I kind of knew in my back of my mind which direction I wanted to go in. So it all came together very nicely. And it was great working with you too. And of course, Julien too, because he was a great perfumer to work with.
Yes. So I think it was a great experience, and also was a different way to communicate, because of course he also has the opportunity to talk about how we make this product together, this project together. So also his community could really understand about the brand, about the way of making a project. So I think was, I guess, interesting also for your community that people really comment on this project in a positive way, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, when you speak about it passionately, people kind of connect with that, and they ended up enjoying the fragrance quite a bit. The feedback has been great. Yeah, it was a lot of going back and forth with different mods, but we settled on the right one.
Yeah, it was a long journey, but like every project. So we are really obsessed about quality. So of course, to launch a fragrance, it takes quite a lot of time. So at the end, Julien Resquenet made a great job, and finally we launched it exclusivity at Harrods. So it was also interesting the way we launched it, because we give the exclusivity to Harrods, and we went together for a panel like this for consumer and journalists, and also a lot of consumer from everywhere in the world came to discover this new fragrance. It was very interesting because were people flying from Atlanta, from India, from Singapore, and
Korea.
Korea, correct, yes. So
That's
it
the
was really
farthest.
interesting. So also the way we communicate that was really, really good. It was very successful. And finally was number 1 sales on Harrods online and number 7 in Hole, the Black Hole. So it was really, really well perceived, the fragrance as well. So we have a couple of samples here if you're curious to smell. But
And I am, as you can see, the only woman among men, like today. It's okay.
You're doing it together. Yes. Yeah. Oh, I see.
Oh,
that.
it's alone.
Okay. Okay. Well, so this is great, and I think we're going to wrap up here. These are the most important quotes that everyone said. So as a summary, and this is a picture. I mean, here's another thing to do. If you really want to get juices flowing, travel with people on your team. Sebastian and I dreamed this up in Big Sur in California. We were out there on this trip. Oh my God! And he was swearing at everybody that was driving, and we were saying, we're going to do this program. What's it going to be? And this is. So, you know, we're a community, and I think if you look at this group, everybody is so different. We are so different, but everybody is working so hard and bringing in their creativity and bringing their dreams and sharing them. And this is who we are. So just be who you are and just keep going, and good things are happening. And now I'm going to let Sebastian wrap up.
Oh,
Because he has some surprises.
Thank you so much.
Everybody has surprises.
Thank you so much for coming. So I've got 3 prizes to hand out to 3 people here. And if your chair, if it has a winner sticker under it, you get a prize of a T-shirt, a baseball hat, and a little baggie, and my latest Scent Club kit. Woohoo!
We can check.
So if you have one, just bring it up to me.
Okay, and then Francois,
They will pick it up.
and people can pick up on the way. I see one? Who else? Anybody else?
Yes.
Check under your seats. He was very discreet.
Good.
Yeah.
I'll handle it.
Oh, okay, there's one. Okay, there's a third one. Okay, the winners. Good. Okay, thank you all for coming. This was so great. Thank you. This has been so much fun. We'll see you out there making waves.
Thank you very much, Sarah.
Thank you.
Sébastien.
Merci Sébastien.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for